Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name's Sammy and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be moving through a gentle chair yoga practice. So you're going to need a sturdy chair and something preferably without arms. So through the practice, I'm going to offer some variations to the poses. So, just check out how your body's feeling today and take on any variations that's going to be suitable. We'll start with some mindfulness. So, our theming for today is Prana or life force. So, as we sit in stillness, notice how much energy we're holding in our bodies. And, if you're feeling a little bit sluggish today, hopefully moving through today's flow, you'll feel a little bit more invigorated. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. We'll start with a little bit of mobility as well. So before we move into our flows and our held poses, we'll mobilize the body. So if you've been sitting for a while, it can feel nice to warm up in the joints and muscles. And then once we've finished our practice, we're going to spend a little time in Shavasana. And this is a time for us to reap the rewards of our practice and just notice how our body feels after we've been moving. Okay, so with our chair, we want to sit comfortably upright with our backs off the chair. Now, I'm going to have my chair angled a little bit and I'll be moving it from side to side just so you can see the poses better. Okay, but you can stay in one position, that's fine. So, all right, so from here, let's make sure that our feet can touch the ground. So we want a sense of connection and grounding. So if your chair is a little bit tall, maybe grab something to pop underneath your feet. And again, we want to keep a clearance between our spine and the back of the chair so we can move through our shapes. We're going to gently roll the shoulders down and away from the ears, and we can just pop the hands on our lap. Okay, our head is comfortable on our neck. And with our time of mindfulness, this is just a time to check in and see how we're feeling as we're sitting. Obviously, as we mobilize, we might notice areas of tightness or tension. And hopefully, through the practice of breath work and making our shapes, we can help smooth out those areas of tension. Okay. All right. So let's begin. So we can relax the gaze. Let's shut the eyes. And then just bring our awareness to our incredible bodies and how they're feeling today. While we're sitting here, do we notice areas that feel a little bit uncomfortable, that feel sore? Notice how the breath is moving in and out of our bodies. Is it struggling? Is it labored? Or is it freely moving in and out? Maybe we can notice that our shoulders are rising and falling with our breath as it's moving in and out. Then we can bring our awareness to our mind. Is it a little scattered? Do we have thoughts that are holding us back from relaxing, from doing the things we want to do? And can we acknowledge these thoughts and feelings and kind of just let them float away like clouds so we can focus our attention on our practice? Know that our breath will always be there, a center of steadiness. Now I'm just going to leave you a couple breaths here in quiet just for some contemplation before we draw out into our mobility. And then when you're ready, start to gently open your eyes or widen your gaze. You might like to take a deeper breath and sigh it out. Do a couple of them. Okay, so let's get some energy going. So we're going to start with our heaven and earth mobility. We'll start from the top, work our way down. It's very short before we move on to our flows. So from here, we'll just nod the head up and down. Take your time, embrace all those little crackles and crunches, and then we can move on to some sideways movements here of the neck. And then bring the head forward and then tip the ear gently to the shoulder, one side and then the other. Nice. We'll get some movements of the shoulders. You can start by doing a few with your hands on your lap, then lift your hands, get a little bit more vigorous, incorporating the elbows and wrists, and make your circles as big as you like with your arms. And then we can change direction. Little ones getting bigger, incorporating arms and wrists. Nice. All right, so let's move on to the movements of the spine. So from here, we'll start with some simple side bends, just tipping from side to side. And then we can kind of bring the hands up into cactus, maybe hands a little bit away from the body. So get a little bit more intensity here. And then from here, we can drop a hand and lift over the hand over the top of the head, just stretching open. Just work with your shoulders and what they like to do today. Beautiful. Let's bring the hands back down the lap as we move through flexion extension. So rounding our spines forward and back. Okay, so this is where we'll definitely need space from the back of our chair. So hands on our lap, we're going to tuck the chin and hips, round the spine, feel our vertebrae turn into that letter C, and then we're going to bring the heart and belly through. Okay, we'll do one more of these with our hand on our lap, stretching the arms straight, and then bring the heart through. And then from here, you might like to lift the hands off the lap, stretch the fingers forward, and then sweep the hands back. Just relax your gaze and your jaw. Do a couple of these, just gentle movements. Nice. And then the last one we'll be doing for the spine is thread the needle. So we have a little needle and thread here. We're going to bring the arm across the body, look towards our hand, and then sweep it back. Now, I'm a little limited for space here, so I'm going to actually take a bend in the elbow to do mine. My room's not very big that I film in, so I kind of have to work with what I have, but that's okay. One more, stretching across and bring it back. So we're opening the back, our shoulder blades, and then our chest. Let's grab another thread and needle, sweep across, and then coming back. Sweep across, and then coming back. Last one of each. Beautiful. Nice. All right, so from here, let's move on to our lower back. We'll just do some circles here. You can kind of throw the body over to the side, lean back, come forward. Just make those circles as big as you need. Change direction when you're ready. These can be kind of nice things to do if you, say, are traveling long distances, just to mobilize a little bit. From here, we'll move the hips. So let's pick up a leg. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to grab my left leg here. I'm holding it so it's got a bit of support, and then making some circling of the hip joint, changing direction. Then while I'm holding my leg, we can straighten the knee out here. Again, add any other movements. If circling feels okay, do that. And then moving on to the ankle. Maybe give the toes a little wiggle while you're there. All right, so let's do the other leg. Again, I'm going to support it and do those hip circles. And change direction when you're ready. And again, movements of the knee. My poor old knee on this side's not very good, so I'm going to be very gentle with it. And then from there, our ankle and little wiggle of the toes. Lovely. All right, so first of all, we're going to do a vinyasa, which means flow in the language of yoga, which is Sanskrita. Okay, so I'm going to lead you with some breath guidance. Now, if this isn't landing for you today, that's totally okay. I just want you to remember to breathe. That's the most important thing, and have some fun as well. So let's sit up with our backs off the chair, feeling grounded in our feet. We'll bring the hands to our heart space in Anjali Mudra. Okay, just take a moment here to connect with our breath, to connect with our earth with the feet, to connect with the heaven with the crown of our head. On your next in-breath, we're going to take a slight lean forward, sweep the arms out in front, and come into chair pose. On your breath out, you're going to pop your hands on your lap and melt your belly over the thighs in forward fold. On your next breath in, we're going to extend the hands down the shins just a little bit, come up to halfway lift, so we've got long arms, long spine. And then on the breath out, we can come into forward fold. Now you can leave your hands on your shins or you can pop them on your knees. On your in-breath, we're going to lift our gaze, extend our arms once again, coming into chair pose. And on the breath out, we're going to sit tall, and this time our palms are beside us in mountain Tadasana pose. So as we turn our palms forward, keep breathing your breath. We've got that little activation of the muscles as we externally rotate through the shoulders. We'll take a few more breaths. So at the end of each flow, we're going to take some time just to allow that flow to land in our body. So let's do that one again. So let's bring the hands to your heart. Get yourself settled so you're feeling comfortable and steady. Sukha and sthira. From here, take an in breath. We're going to extend the arms, come into chair pose, lean forward. So we're hinging to the front. On your breath out, palms on your legs, roll the belly over the thighs, or you can even extend the hands down your legs into forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, half lift, hands on shins or knees. On your breath out, drape your belly over the thighs, let your head relax, Uttanasana, forward fold. On your in breath, I'm going to pop my hands on my knees and then reaching out in front, a little lean forward in Utkatasana chair pose. And then exhale into mountain where hands are by the side. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Now let's hit a little pause called a rebound just to see how we're feeling after moving through those shapes. Nice, lovely. All right, so we're going to do one more vinyasa flow called a sun salutation. Okay, so this one's going to be sun salutation A, and we'll be incorporating warrior one into this. So there's going to be a little bit of a movement of the knee. Okay, so when you're ready, let's begin. So it'll kind of look a little bit like what we just did, but we're going to add one little extra pose. So let's bring the hands to the heart space. We're going to take an in breath, extend the arms in front, long spine, little tuck of the chin as we come into chair pose. And then breathing out, let our body fold forward, relax your head into forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift, hands on shins or knees. And then on the exhale, we're going to stand up tall. Let's take a few extra breaths here, actually. We're going to pick up our left leg and send it out the side. All right, so we need a little time. We're going to do this one twice. So we'll just trial this one, okay? So our left knee's pointing away from the front and our right knee's pointing straight in front where we were, okay? So from here, we're going to look towards our left knee. When you're ready, on your next in-breath, you're going to lift the arms up as high as you can. And then exhale, settle in. Take another inhale, stretch through your body. And then we're going to exhale, bring the hands down, pick up our left leg and send it to the front. We're going to inhale, come into our half lift again, so long spine, hands are on knees or shins. And then on the exhale, we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to pick up the right foot and send that out the side. So let's again take a few extra breaths here till we get sorted. So our left knee's in straight ahead while we were seated, and our right knee's turned out. So we're going to look towards the right leg. Take an in breath, lengthen our body. Exhale, settle in. Deep belly breath in when you're ready. Exhale, float the hands down, pick up your right leg, send it to the front. Inhale, half lift, hands on shins or knees. Let your breath go as you come into forward fold. Inhale, rising up into your chair pose, extending the arms a little lean forward. And then taking an exhale into mountain. And again, let's just hit the pause button here. See how we're feeling. Maybe give ourselves a little gratitude while we're here. All right, so we're going to move through that sun salutations one more time. Okay, so we'll pick it up a little bit quicker, not too much quicker, but we kind of know what we're doing now. So from here, we're going to bring our hands to our heart, take an in breath, lean forward a little bit, come into our chair pose. Pop your hands on your lap or your shins and melt your belly over the thighs, forward fold. Inhale, lift your gaze, rise up, halfway lift, hands on shins or knees. And then on your breath out, we're going to pick up the left knee, send it out to the side, ready for our warrior one. So looking at the left knee. Take a deep in breath as we lift the arms overhead. Exhale, sweep the hands down, pick up the left leg, send it to the front. Take an in breath, halfway lift, hands on shins or knees. Exhale, pick up our right foot, send that out to the side. When you're ready, take your big deep breath in, lift up your arms, lengthen your spine, coming into your warrior one on the right. Exhale, lower your hands, pick up your knees, send it to the front. We're nearly there. Inhale, half lift, hands on knees or shins. Exhale, let your body drape over, relax your head, forward fold. Inhale, coming into chair, you can press on your knees to help you up. Release your arms to the front, long spine here. And then exhale into Tadasana, mountain pose, a strong, foundational, steady pose. And again, we're going to take a little pause here, see how we're feeling. Are we feeling a little bit more animated, energized? Feel that prana traveling through our body. All right, so that's our little vinyasa flow. Now we're going to be moving on to some more static poses, okay? So they'll take, kind of us on to the rest of our practice. And then once we finish them, we're going to come into our Shavasana, okay? So I'm going to offer some variations. You just pick and choose what feels good. Okay, so I'm going to leave my chair in this position. Let's pick up our left leg. You can pick it up or send it out there yourself. Okay, so we're going to be facing down towards our left leg. Take a nice in breath, extend your arms, exhale to settle. So this is our warrior two. So it's very strong position here. So we're pushing through the floor with all of our feet, stretching our fingers away from the hands, maybe relaxing the shoulders a little here. Breathing a gentle breath down our left arm. From here, let's flip up the left palm. We can let the right hand rest on our lap or hip, and then we're going to reach away. So we're opening up all the way down the left side of our bodies. Exalted warrior two. Big stretch here. Take a few more breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll sweep over, spiral, let the left arm rest on the left knee. And then from here, we're coming into side angle. So we can bring our arms into cactus for that right arm, or you may like to stretch your arm over your head. Again, see what your shoulder wants to do. Couple more breaths here. And then from here, we're going to drop that right shoulder. So it's kind of like a twist and a forward fold at the same time. We're going to look over our left shoulder. Keep your right hand stretching away from you. And then when you're ready, start to peel on up. And then from here, we're going to relax that right arm. And we're getting into a more double wide leg position. So as we move on to wide-legged forward fold. So I'm actually going to bring the left foot in a little bit, shuffle my bottom, bring my chair back a little bit more, and take my right leg out as well. So I'm opened up through the hips. So from here, we can start off with a nice big breath in, lift up our arms, our rib cage, exhale, rest our forearms on our knees. We want to make sure we feel nice and firmly planted on the chair. So have a little wiggle around and see what's good. Maybe bring the ankles in front of the knees a little bit here. Keep the back straight, and then we'll start to forward fold. Okay, let's stop a little halfway here. We can hang here. Think about pressing the knees open just a little bit. Push through all of your feet. Maybe our gaze is forward and down, so we've got this really lovely length to the neck. And then from here, if you want to stop here, that's totally cool. If you want to take it maybe into more of a little bit of a forward fold, we can start to tuck the chin, maybe stretch. I'm going to move the bottom a little bit here, stretch down, let the hands rest on the shins or ankles, gaze under the chair. You can even pop your hands on the floor if that's accessible. If you've got something like books or bricks, yoga bricks, you could pop them under your hands. So this is quite a deep stretch for the hips. And if you're not quite ready for that, just bring those elbows back on your knees. A gentle rounding of the spine. And then when you're ready, start to lift your gaze. We can pop our hands on our knees, gently press up, rise up, and then finish in our goddess pose, Uttara Konasana. So our rolling our shoulders away from the ears, drawing the elbows slightly back. And then from here, relaxing our arms. We can bring the knees forward a bit, give them a little bit of a shimmy shake, shake them out. And then from here, I'm actually going to angle my chair a little bit round this way as we repeat that sequence on the other side. So we'll take our right leg out to the side, our left knees forward. Take a big breath in, extend the arms. Exhale, settle in, settle in, blah, blah, blah. Stretching, reaching, grounding through the feet. And now warrior two. And then we can flip the right palm up and keep our left hand on our hip or on the chair, whatever's accessible. And we're tipping away from that right leg. Just a few more moments here, not long. And then when you're ready, again, we'll spiral over, rest the right forearm on the right knee. And then with that left arm, we can come into that cactus arm again, or we can extend the arm over our head. Feeling into our feet. And notice, how does this feel in your body? Do you need to make any adjustments? And then from here, we're going to gently roll the shoulder down of the left arm, reaching across as we add a little twist and looking over the right shoulder. Stretching the left fingertips away from the hand. And then start to unwind from here. Come on up. Nice. And we'll pick up that right leg, send it to the front. So we've just got a couple more of our poses to go. From here, we'll come into our seated staff pose, which is again another foundational pose, nice and strong and steady. So make sure that you're feeling settled in your chair. Legs out as straight as you can. I'm going to take a nice in breath in, sitting tall. And then exhale, we can pop the hands on the lap, tuck the chin, and start to slowly curl into the spine as we turn this into a forward fold. And I'm actually going to inch my bottom back a little bit here, just so I feel a bit more secure. Just a few more breaths here. And then when you're ready, begin to lift your gaze. You can pop your hands on your knees and slowly start to uncurl your spine. We'll do a couple of arm poses and then we'll move on to our Shavasana. Okay, so let's bring the ankles under the knees again. And the first one we're going to be doing is eagle arms. So bring our arms, our wings out the side, take a bend into our arms. Let's start with the left arm. So I'm going to show you two variations here. So we can start with our first variation of bringing our forearms together. In fact, I might even turn a little bit more to the side so you can see. That's better. All right, so you can start by bringing the forearms together as much as you can, or you might like to sweep the left forearm underneath the right. Like I'm finding that's quite tight for me, so pick a variation that feels good. So from here, so this is a very intense stretch for your shoulder blades and shoulders. So just be mindful of what feels good in your body in terms of cues. So from here, you can lift the elbows away from your chest. You can tuck your chin to your throat and you can sweep your arms away from your face. So there's a few choices here. You don't need to do all three. You can just pick one. So keeping those feet firmly planted to the floor and the spine is nice and tall here without being rigid. Very intense stretch. So we're not going to spend very long here. And then when you're ready, let's set our eagles free. And then from here, we're coming into cow face. So we're going to bring the palm of our left hand to the back of our head and the back of our right hand to our lower back. Gently pull the elbows back. So what we want to be mindful of is that we're not jutting the chin forward as our hands on the back of our head. So that's our first variation. We can also go a little further if you want to and work the fingers up and down the spine, okay? Now I know when I do this, one way I can touch finger to finger, but if I go and do the other side, it's not a chance. So that's what makes us special. So from here, once you've picked your position, keep your chest open, softly gazing forward, anchoring down through our sit bones. And then let's start to unpeel, unwind your cow face pose. Maybe give your arms a little shimmy shake here. And then from here, we're going to grab our forearms together as the option A. Or you can grab your right elbow under left elbow. So I feel super flexy doing it this way on this side. Do as much twisting as your arms will allow. And then we can go through our little cues, our tucking of chins, our lifting of the elbow, and our sweeping the arm away from the face. We can do one of those or all three or two or whatever suits you today. Feeling that energy through this stretch. Just a few more moments here, not long. And once you're ready, start to let your eagles fly free. Then we bring that left palm or the right palm to the back of the head, the back of the left hand to the lower back. Gently pull back. This might be where your chest shoulder opener is today. If you want to go a little bit further, have a little play with walking your fingers down your spine and up your spine. Find somewhere to gently gaze upon. Smooth, steady breath. And then when you're ready, start to uncurl your arms. Give them a little bit of a shake here. All right, lovely. All right, so that's our yoga practice for today. We're going to finish off with our Shavasana. Again, this is where we, just notice how we're feeling after we've made those shapes and flows and all that. So for this one, you actually can like have your back up against the chair because we want to be super comfortable, okay? So make any adjustments, grab any props, whether you want to pop a blanket on or a jumper or socks, whatever. You may like to begin your Shavasana by taking a couple of releasing breaths. So a deep inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm actually going to do 2 of them. If you want to join me, it's entirely up to you. And then I'm going to leave you in some nice and peace and quiet, and I'll gently draw you out of your Shavasana in a couple of minutes. So again, if you'd like to join me for these 2 breaths. And then just coming into your natural breath. Allow your body to be heavy, to sink into the chair, for your feet to melt into the floor, for your jaw to soften, your eyelids to relax. No effort here. Just notice how your breath feels moving in and out of your body. And again, I'll gently draw you out of this Shavasana in just a few minutes. ready, using the power of your breath to guide you, start to introduce some little movements of the toes, of the fingers, maybe some gentle circling of the wrists and ankles, maybe a stretch, deepening of the breath. Softly start to open your eyes or widen your gaze. Oh, there you are. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today for our chair yoga practice. It was so much fun, and I hope you feel a little bit more energized. If you enjoyed practicing with me today, I would love for you to subscribe, share, like, do all those YouTubey things. Otherwise, I wish you a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, whenever you're doing your practice, and take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.